Debt. A word that scares people. A word governments avoid explaining. But here's the biggest mystery of our time. If every country in the world is in debt, then who is the creditor? Today, we break down the entire global debt system in the simplest possible way. Right now, the world owes more money than it can ever repay. Global debt has crossed over $300 trillion. That is 3 times the size of the entire world economy. Every major country, America, Japan, China, India, Europe, everyone is in debt. Governments borrow to run the country, pay salaries, build infrastructure, handle crises, and manage growth. But if everyone is borrowing, then who is lending? Who has so much money that they can lend to entire nations? Governments don't take personal loans like we do. They issue something called sovereign bonds. These are promises, IOUs, that say, lend us money today and we will pay interest for years. People, banks, companies, pension funds, foreign nations, everyone buys these bonds. But here is the twist. These bonds are not just debt. They are money. They are the backbone of the modern financial system. When a country like the United States issues bonds, the world treats them like cash. Banks use them as reserves. Countries use them as savings. Investors use them as safe assets. This means government debt becomes the foundation of money creation. In simple words, the world runs on government debt. Without debt, there is no liquidity, no borrowing, no trading, no economy. So who is the creditor? The answer is surprising. The biggest owners of government debt are the country's own people. Banks, pension funds, insurance companies, mutual funds all belong to the citizens. Central banks like the Federal Reserve or the Reserve Bank of India also own government bonds. When a central bank buys government debt, it is like the country owes money to itself. Even foreign countries hold debt, but they are not the majority. In most cases, the government owes money to its own economy. When you take a loan, you try to repay it. But governments almost never repay the principal amount. They only pay interest. And when that interest becomes too big, they simply borrow more to pay for the old debt. This is called rolling over debt. It sounds dangerous, but it is normal. The government's goal is not to finish debt. The goal is to manage it. In fact, if governments repay all debt, the financial system would collapse. Because banks, companies, and even people rely on government bonds. The entire global economy runs on one fragile foundation: trust. Trust that governments will continue to pay interest. Trust that central banks will keep the system stable. Trust that inflation will stay manageable. Trust that currencies won't suddenly collapse. If trust breaks, even for a moment, the whole system can shake. Markets crash, currencies fall, banks panic. That's why governments protect confidence more than they protect money. Debt is not a burden waiting to be paid off. Debt is a cycle. Governments issue bonds. Banks buy them. Banks use those bonds to create new loans. Those loans become money. People spend that money, which becomes economic growth. That growth increases tax revenue, which pays interest on the bonds. And then the cycle continues. Debt fuels growth. Growth fuels taxes. Taxes fuel interest payments. And the loop keeps running. When debt becomes very high, countries face inflation, currency depreciation, and higher interest rates. But even then, countries rarely collapse. The real danger is not the debt itself. The real danger is the loss of trust. Countries that lose trust face crises. Countries that maintain trust survive even with giant debt. So who is the creditor? The answer is simple but shocking. The creditor is the system itself. The financial system, the banking system, the central banking system, the people, the institutions, the markets. Everyone who participates in the economy becomes part of the creditor base. The world is borrowing from itself. Debt is the glue holding the global financial machine together. Debt is not the opposite of money. Debt is money. Debt is the backbone of the global economy. Debt is the foundation of modern trust. And as long as the world believes in this system, it will continue to run. The moment that belief breaks, the system will face its biggest test, Until then, debt is part of life. Debt is part of growth. And debt is the fuel that keeps countries alive. If you found this explanation valuable, share it. More people need to understand how the world economy really works. This is not just finance.